Hi, today I want to teach you how to change a string on your violin. Now, you may need to just change one string because it broke, or you might want to change all your strings because they're old and worn out. If you're changing all your strings, just remove one at a time and replace it with a new one, because your bridge and your tailpiece are held in place just by the tension of the strings, and also your sound post is supported in place by the pressure of the bridge pushing down on it. So keeping some tension on those components will keep them in place. For a classical setup, you're probably going to want synthetic strings. I'll link to some of my preferred strings in the description below. So first, you're going to want to remove the old string. Hopefully you can see that that peg is tapered, and it's a tapered hole that it goes into. So as you tighten it, you're going to need to push in and tighten. So this violin has a fine tuner that I'm going to feed the ball end of the string into. If it doesn't have a fine tuner, you'll simply feed it into the slot like that. First, we're going to put on the top end. So I'm going to replace the peg into its hole, and I'm just gonna feed the string right into this hole, and I'm going to start to turn in this direction since it's on this side of the violin. If it were on the other side, I would turn the opposite direction, but it's always up and over, never under. So I was told by my luthier, when winding the string around the peg, to first wrap once around this side of the leftover bit of string coming through this hole, then switch over to the other side for the remaining turns. This will keep the string from coming out of this little hole that it passes through. You also want to keep each turn as close to the one before it as possible. So I'm just going to get it in there a little ways like this and start turning up and over. In this case, turning the peg clockwise. On the other side of the violin, it would be counterclockwise. I'm creating a little bit of downward pressure, and I'm going to catch the end of the string with the peg out a ways so that it can feed on the left-hand side of the string in this case. Then I'm going to switch over to the other side, and I'm going to, as neatly as possible, do it one turn at a time. And I'm going to make sure I still have some of this red winding here available below the peg box. I'm doing that so I can make sure I have plenty of length here to get it in the bottom. Okay, at this point I'm just going to go ahead and slip this into the slot at the bottom. I'm kind of just holding the string tight and continuing to wind until I take up all the slack. Good. Now, before I finish, I'm just going to take a little bit of graphite from this pencil to create a dry lubricant in the notch on the violin. And I'm also going to take this, if you can see this little bit of black tubing under my finger right there, that is going to go right on the bridge with the majority of the tubing in the after length, the length below the bridge towards the tailpiece. Now I can get the string into the groove in the nut up here, get this tubing in the groove on the bridge, and I'll tighten a little more. And let me get my violin, or you can use any other reference pitch, and just start tightening. And there we go. Now the string will probably need to be retuned again shortly after it settles a little bit. But anyway, there we go. That's how you replace a string.